Okay. Welcome, teachers, to Classes, Folders, and Progress with Meredith Wade. Thank you all for joining us. I am going to hand over the presentation to Meredith.
Hi, guys. Thank you all for joining. How many are we at now? 1,000 of you. Thank you guys so much. As Chad said, my name is Meredith Wade, and today I'm going to be presenting on classes, folders, and progress with Quizlet. So just a little bit about myself. As I said, my name is Meredith. I work in product marketing here on the growth team. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, but moved to San Francisco back in January from Berlin, Germany. There, I was working as a product manager and product marketer at Babbel, the language learning app. I have a BA from NYU in Spanish and business and an MBA from ESADE in Barcelona, Spain. I started working at Quizlet and in ed tech in general because I'm extremely passionate about democratizing and personalizing education through technology. Oh, hi from Memphis. How you doing? So I wanted to start with a poll for you all, and I'm going to launch it now. So I just wanted to get a little gauge from you guys. In your remote classroom environment, are you having trouble keeping your class content organized, monitoring assignment completion, and tracking student progress? I'm going to give a little bit of time for everyone to vote. About 77% of you guys. So it seems like overall, yes, and a little bit. So even though we understand back to school is sort of up in the air of what it looks like for each of you and perhaps won't be defined for a little bit, but whether you're in the classroom or teaching remote, by connecting your students with Quizlet, we can help you keep organized and aware of your students' progress through data. So how we see this data really being useful for you guys. I'm going to end this poll really quick and share the results with you all. There we go. Yeah, so back to this. So yeah, how we see you guys being able to utilize the student data is one, just being able to analyze data over a period of time by first initiating it with establishing a baseline for your student skills, understanding what students have mastered. Is it a paid feature? Sorry about that, guys. And also find where to fill the gaps in either pre-test or post-test, excuse me. We also feel like the student data allows you guys to collaborate with other teachers to see student learning trends over time and identify areas of growth of your student knowledge. So there's a few easy steps with getting your classroom set up for Quizlet, and we're going to go through those step by step now. And once this is all over, we'll be able to send you guys some written information on how to do this. So once you sign up for Quizlet, you'll first sign in and you'll see this empty state on your home, and you can easily add class 2 different ways. Now on a free teacher account, you can create up to 8 classes. If you need more, Quizlet Teacher allows for unlimited classes. I'm gonna say, there was a hand raise. Oh, it is, I'm sorry about that. Is that better?
Looks good, Meredith.
Okay, cool. So let's go back to this. So yeah, we've made it, as I said, for signing in, you can create up to 8 classes if you're on the free Quizlet teacher. If you're on the paid Quizlet side, you can have unlimited classes. And we've made it really easy for you to add students with 3 different types of steps. First is by inviting them by email if you have a list of those emails, or connecting through Google Classroom. I'm sure a significant number of you guys use this for rostering, or you can share it via a copy link that your students can join. If you choose the first 2, the students will receive an email to join the classroom, and they'll each have to accept the invitation. Now, once each student has been or has accepted the invitation, you must approve these students to join. So I know Laura has previously covered finding and creating material for your class, but I just wanted to give a little overview as well. We know that creating class materials for you guys is pretty cumbersome. So we've tried to make it as fast as possible for you all to make or find sets that's relevant for your curriculum. So if you want to make your own set, you can easily import that data from a Google Sheet, Excel, or Word doc. We also have an autofill feature that guesses what you're typing based off the 500 million sets that we have. Additionally, you can search through sets to find previously made sets from other teachers. For example, if you're a 6th grade English teacher and you're looking for vocab terms, you can find, like it lists here, different vocab ones. And if they don't actually meet your needs, you can copy these and edit them to make them your own. So after either creating or finding a set that fits your needs, you'll receive a prompt to add them to a class or a folder. So as you can see here, once you've added the sets to a class, you can scroll through the sets. Right now, unfortunately, sets can only be added to classes or folders. We don't have the functionality yet for adding folders to a class. However, we understand this and it doesn't help you keep organizing your classroom materials, especially for some of you that are creating hundreds of sets for one class and need them to be organized and align with your curriculum timeline. So I was really happy to announce that we are starting to implement folders for classes in the coming future. This is one of the many organizational features that Quizlet is starting to look at based off of teacher research and student research. And we're hoping to bring a lot more of those to you guys soon, especially when it comes to customizing the visualization of these different classrooms. So this will be launching in September, so stay tuned. So I'm sure you guys are wondering, with all of this activity happening on the teacher side, how are students going to know that they've been accepted to classes, or how they will know sets will be added to classes? We really thought about this on the product side and are really happy to announce a new feature called the Student Activity Center. This is where all the classroom notifications will live on your student's side. For example, if they've been added to a class, if you've added a new set to that specific class, we also will start pushing out if somebody beat their highest match score. We find that students are really competitive when it comes to that on their platform. We're hoping to also expand and continue adding different notifications within this product, specifically that will drive students to study more. So maybe assigning a date for a test on your sets, and so that we can help push them to study a bit more. So now let's dive a bit into student progress with Quizlet Teacher. Student progress is one of the key features of the paid Quizlet Teacher subscription. For each class and each set for that class, you can see how much students have studied and what their level of mastery is. So this is what the visualization of that student progress looks like, and I'm going to do a little bit of deep diving into what these all mean. So let's say I'm a middle school Spanish teacher who is teaching Spanish 2 to 8th graders in Santa Barbara, California. I've added students to my class, created sets for specific grammar topics, upgraded to Quizlet teacher, and I've assigned my students to study a Quizlet set on the past perfect present tense. I want them to not only study the sets in different modes we have on Quizlet, but also to test themselves in our test modes. So as you can see here, here's the different, here's what your class would look like if you have a Quizlet teacher. And in order to see your students' progress, you would go to this graph bar here, and it would open up this individual students report. Now, once your students have studied this set, you can go to this class, and it take this progress report. You can see the different study modes that students have used, how long they've studied, simply by filtering by a specific date range, and then also the individual score on the test mode. So this is just one part of that individual student progress report. We've also incorporated this mastery part, where it gives you a holistic view of your students' progress and what they're sort of missing on those specific sets. So this provides you with a breakdown of percentage of terms that students get correct. And with this, you can either create more sets, or with the missed terms, or assign the same sets and continue getting your students to mastery. So that was a very quick overview of the new things that are coming. And I'm gonna take it to now if anybody has any questions.
And then Meredith, I'll help you Q&A that. So teachers.
There's a lot of questions in the chat for sure.
Yeah, take, if teachers can, I'll give everyone 30 seconds. Take your questions from the chat and place it into the Q&A tool on the bottom bar of the Zoom webinar. And I will set them through that. And if you're joining us from YouTube Live, if you put questions into the chat, I will also ask that to Meredith. So, okay, so Meredith, I'm going to start reading questions as they come through. They're coming in. Can we organize folders in the class? This would make things easier to correlate modules and units.
That is the feature that's coming soon. So in September, we will be launching folders within classes.
Right, and then this is not Quizlet related, but how did you embed a poll in your presentation? Such a cool tool to be able to do with my students while teaching virtual.
How did I embed a what?
Poll.
A poll. Oh, this was the Zoom integration, Zoom magic.
And then Kelly, information on that. So this isn't a Zoom meeting, this is a Zoom webinar. And so if you upgrade your account and add webinar capabilities, polling is part of that.
I believe there's also a polling feature in Google Slides. If you go to presenter mode, I think that there's actually a polling feature there.
This one is, how can I find the Quizlet app? I tried the Apple App Store and it wasn't there. It should be in the Apple App Store.
I'm going to search right now.
Let's see. A lot of questions about the poll. Yes, that was Zoom. So Meredith, is there a cap on how many classes I can create?
If you are on the free Quizlet teacher side, 8 is the maximum amount of classes you can create. But if you upgrade to Quizlet teacher, there's unlimited classes.
And then if I have multiple sections of one class, can I create multiple classes and link them together? Meaning, if I added a set to one, would it add to all?
In the functionality, there is the ability to add it to multiple classes, but you'd have to do it every single time. We're building out more features on that side to help with if I've created one set and I wanted to add it to multiple classes, but that's still coming on the product roadmap.
Great, and then for all of our elementary school teachers, Meredith, if I'm teaching first grade, can I add the students myself?
Unfortunately, on Quizlet, they have to have an email address accompanying their account. You can't add them just on an individual basis and create usernames for them. Just because of our terms and conditions, we have to have a valid email address to confirm them.
Great, and then let's see. I'm scrolling through, there's a lot of good questions. We have over 100 questions. I think just, go ahead. No,
I know, I'm reading some from the beginning, and Christina Vogel, yes, I loved Berlin, by the way.
I teach a semester class. Is it possible to remove students from first semester and then add the students for second semester? Or do I need to start over at semester?
Good question. You would probably, if it's changing of students, if you're changing the roster of the students, you could simply just change the name of the class if they're staying the same. However, if the roster of students is changing, you'd have to create a new class.
Right, and then I'm looking, so Meredith, can you upload into Quizlet from a spreadsheet?
Yes, there is the ability to upload via an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheets. You can just literally copy all of what you have on those documents and input them into Quizlet. And there's also the ability on the Quizlet paid teacher side to scan PDFs. I did see a question there in the chat about that.
Cool. And then I'm sorry, I'm looking through the YouTube live chat. If I want to share flashcards with the teachers, do I need to upgrade to teacher to do that?
So just share with other teachers?
Yeah, if I just wanted to share sets with the teachers.
No, all of our content is easy to find via a share link. So what you would need to do is go to the set that you're specifically wanting to share. There's a share link on the bottom, and you'll be able to send that to anybody.
Cool. And then, so I'm looking through a lot of questions about folders and classes and organization. So let me siphon through those. Meredith, do you think in the future we'll have any subfolder capabilities?
So this is the first iteration, this folders on a bigger project I'm working on around more integration of organization, including subfolders. And right now we're trying to figure out how many layers we're going down. But yes, it is definitely something that we are thinking about because we understand the need for organization on a very detailed level for you guys. So definitely something that we're thinking about in a version 2 of folders within classes.
And then this is from an anonymous attendee, but this question is just for Quizlet at large. I think you can answer it. If multiple teachers in the building are using Quizlet, can the student have the same account to access all of their classes and assignments? Will all of their classes appear on the student activity page?
Yes. So that's what we're hoping, is that in order to have one student with one account, they can be in multiple classes and they come to Quizlet and they see everything for all of those classes in one place, so that you're not having to share it via Google Classroom or share it via a page or something else, that everything for the student through Quizlet would be on Quizlet.
And then so there's a lot of
and I do want to say, yes, you can create a class from a CSV file. You would just copy it all, paste it in, and then you would say, there's a feature to say, separate it by commas. So it would also import it like that.
Meredith, what do you think about a feature to lock settings for sets assigned to classes? Like someone that teaches Spanish, students will switch to English only and turn off activities and learn.
Yeah, that's something that we're thinking about, especially on the organizational side when it comes to teachers owning content. We understand that the content you guys create is the quality content and we want to keep it that way. And we're looking into figuring out how we can have those security settings on specific sets.
Great, and then Meredith, if you could, are you able to talk about adding to Google Classroom if I wanted to share a set to Google Classroom? Like, how would I do that if I wanted to share a set to Google Classroom?
I don't know if there's the integrated capability of sharing directly to Google Classroom. Actually, let me think about it. I think it might actually be that. So when there's the share button on
Yeah.
the set page, you can actually click, there's Google Classroom and Recall that you can share it through.
Yeah, when you create the set, you can just share
Yeah.
it to Google. And then being conscious of time, Meredith, I'll ask 2 more questions. So you have over 200 questions in the Q&A, so so Meredith, when we upload this YouTube, this doesn't count as the 2 questions. When we upload this video to the Quizlet YouTube channel, can teachers get a copy of your presentation?
Chad, I think you're sending out all the presentations after, right?
Yeah, so in the YouTube Quizlet Live videos, I'm going to link to PDF versions of each presentation so teachers can access that and reference it for material.
Yep.
And then, sorry, can you delete a class, Meredith?
Yes.
Want to delete a class?
Delete a class.
And then I'm looking through. I've seen a lot of questions about diagrams. That was in the Quizlet teacher subscription session. And then, so Meredith, if there's a green check mark on class progress, for example, does that mean they did the exercise or they like mastered it?
No, so it's that they did it. They, if I go back here, let me get back on this presentation. So these different highlighted features here, if there's a green check mark, it means that they completed it. Whether or not they master it, so let's take tests, for example. The best try that they had was 67%. So you'll see what their best attempt was when testing themselves, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they've mastered it. If you go to the side of mastery, you'll see which terms they've actually mastered.
Right, and then Meredith, I'm scrolling through the 200 plus questions to wrap up our final question. Let's see. I want to encourage teachers with a lot of these questions, please feel free and check the Quizlet Help Center. A lot of the how-tos and troubleshooting, you can find articles there and reach out to our support team. And then, so we'll ask this last question, Meredith, kind of like organization. Can we transfer a student from one class to the other class or to include a student into 2 different classes?
Yes, if you can't do it directly on the platform to say, put this user into this, you have to actually invite them to both classrooms and approve them for both classrooms.
Great. Well, thank you, Meredith. I'll be conscious of your time. Thank you so much for presenting on classes, folders, in progress. Thank you to all the teachers that attended this session. Again, if you have more questions, this will be uploaded to the Quizlet YouTube channel. You'll be able to access the slide and a full recording of this session. And I'd also encourage everyone to check out the Quizlet Help Center. So thank you, Meredith. Thank you, teachers. And I will see everyone in the next sessions.
Ciao.
Bye.